Yo, Q&A. I just got a question. Is it okay to ask customers for 50% deposit when starting landscaping jobs? Probably in response to my video, I talk about in my videos it's so important to get a deposit when you're starting these landscaping jobs so the customer kind of doesn't have you under the barrel. So it just alleviates tension to make sure you're getting paid. Very important. So I want to talk about this real quick because this is very important. Not only should you have an agreement verbally, but you should also have it's getting cold out here. You should also have an agreement in writing, so in your contract, right? And so the question was, is it okay to get asked for 50%? Because I normally say, hey, you should get about 33% down. So my policy in my business is any job, existing clients that I've been with for years, sometimes I let it slide, but all new clients, anything over $1,000 is a now this is very few select clients that I just bill them at the end. I don't care. People I really have been with for a long time, right? But anything over $1,000 requires a 33% deposit down the morning of the job once we get started with a signature to cover materials, and it's called a good faith deposit. Now, is it okay to ask for 50%? In fact, yes, it's okay to ask for 100% down. Whatever you decide to do in your business, because I'm not a lawyer or anything, but kind of like legally speaking, between you and the agreement that you have with the customer, you could do whatever you want. That's the negotiation between you and the customer, and what you verbally have talked about and what's on paper. Now, are customers comfortable doing that? Probably not. I've heard some lawn care guys say, that's it, I'm so sick of getting ripped off, I'm only doing prepay lawn care or having a credit card on file because I'm not going to get ripped off ever again. I don't mind prepaying my lawn care guy. As a matter of fact, I'm actually cutting my own lawn right now because I like doing it. But I've had another lawn care companies cut my lawn, and one guy ripped me off. I prepaid him for like, I don't know, it was like 6 cuts or something. It was halfway through the month, and I was like, oh, this month and next month. He showed up like 3 times, and he just disappeared. I don't even care to chase him for the money. It's just not even worth my time. But that's an example of the lawn care guy ripped me off. So I know what it's like. I would never rip off a customer or anything. If I remember one time I accidentally overcharged a customer by $100 and something bucks, and it was a legit billing error, and I panicked, and I was like calling, getting advice, like, how do I do this so it doesn't look like I was dishonest? I was like, and you say, oh, no, you just send a customer a check back and write, hey, billing error, we here's your $138 that we accidentally overcharged you, and here's why. It's just a billing error. It's like, I'm like it's like I was freaking out, like, oh my god. And I also had a customer underpay me. They owe me, like, they paid me in cash. They said, well, here's your $800. And I said, oh, thank you so much. All right, later. They closed the door, and I counted, and there was only $700. I knocked on the door, and I was like, I swear on everything, I literally, you just closed the door, there's only $700 here. And they're like, oh, sorry. They gave me $100, and I walk away feeling all weird. So it's like, now when it comes to deposits, especially with cash, I'm counting that money right in front of the customer. Hey, Mr. Jones, I totally know if, like, you're a smart person. It's here. I don't say that, but, and I'll just count 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. All right, cool. Sign here. Bingo, bango. So now with deposits, here's the way that I do the deposit. Good faith materials deposit, anything over $1,000 for me. You can do whatever you want. You could do it on every job. I say some customers will just pay the deposit weeks before the job. I'm like, okay, they paid the deposit online. I don't expect the deposit until the morning of the job, once we get on the job and we actually start working. And then I'll put a whole video link below about all of this, of how we do this. I got a whole video about collecting deposits, and I'll put the link below. And the morning of the job, once we start working and the customer gets that warm feeling like, okay, these guys are legit. If it's a new relationship, and they see you guys working, then you knock on the door, get the deposit, right? So they don't feel nervous that you have their money or something, especially if it's like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 job, you know? So put a link below. And how we do all this, we do it on Jobber, and my favorite feature of Jobber software that I've been using for like 4 years now is there's two favorite features. The one is the automatic customer booking follow-up, so it communicates with the customers, but also how you can collect a deposit right then and there and get a digital signature, whether it's on their device, they do it and they click send, or you hand them your phone and they do it. So now you're keeping track of all the payments. So if it's $1,333.33 deposit, it takes it off the balance and it shows the balance owed. So Jobber does it all for you, and it makes your business like super seamless and professionally, not to you only, but to the customer, views your business as professional when you have all this reflected in line items, and it's a nice digital work order and invoice with all the money right there in Jobber software. So if you want a free trial of Jobber, go to getjobber.com/Kelfus. I'll put a link in the description below. You get a free 2-week trial and a huge discount with my exclusive link. So it's super cool when you add that to your business. So anyways, always collect a deposit. You can negotiate whatever amount that you want with the customer, but make it a fair amount so the customer doesn't feel freaked out. It could be as little as 20%. It could be as much as 50%. You just have to figure out what works for you and your business and create that policy. And you can test different things. You can test, hey, we do 20%. No, we do 33%. We do 30%. We do 50%. And kind of get the haptic feedback, which is the real-time feedback between you and the customer, and figure out what works. And do more of what works and do less of what doesn't. But here's kind of the caveat. Each next year in your business, you're a new you. Maybe you're more confident. You're more seasoned. You've been through it more. So maybe you feel a little bit more comfortable changing the deposit amount or changing terms or something, right? So you're always upgrading your identity. All right, I'm Keith Kelfus. Hit the subscribe button. We're on a landscape job. This one is $3,620 to do some trimming, some maintenance, some mulch. And yeah, our average ticket job went from $312.50 to $1,649.50 by offering packages and things like that. I'm doing a 2-day workshop. It's called the Level Up Your Landscape Business Workshop. If it's still available and live and there's any seats left, you can get in. I'll put a link below. Just look for Level Up Your Landscape Business Workshop, and I'll teach you how to define your service area, how to create a property, like a service suite, a checklist of services that you offer, and how to turn landscaping problems into profits. So I hope that serves you. Remember, if you need a billing software, Jobber is in the link below, and then also check out my workshop. Peace.